My daughter is an angel, though. She is like the most amazing thing in the world. And I say to my son a lot, I'm like, why can't you be more like your sister? And he's like, because you won't pay for the surgery. My daughter, she gets in trouble too, though, sometimes. I got her in trouble. She went to school during COVID when she was a kindergarten. COVID. She went online school, kindergarten. What the fuck was that? They don't even need to go to kindergarten. Like, it's pretty useless. And then they were like, no, they got to be online. They went online, and I'd have to help. You know, that was the worst part, that we had to help. Like that's the reason we send kids to school. So that we don't have to we pay taxes so the teachers teach. I don't want to teach, but I would have to help the teacher teach. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I realized how hard teachers' jobs are when I had to do that. I mean, if you're holy shit, teachers, you don't get paid enough, you don't get enough respect, But what you did during COVID, where you had us teach, fuck you, fuck your union, you got everything you fucking deserve. That was awful. That was awful when I had to help. And it was always me, because my wife would be out day drinking, and I would hear the teacher say, she'd be like working with my daughter, and she'd be like, oh, Izzy, can you go get your father? And I'd be like, fuck. Because I'd have to get out of bed and put clothes on and look like a functioning human being, you know? I couldn't just, so I would go out there, and so there was one day, I remembered, it was right before Thanksgiving. This is a true story. I'm sitting there, and she's like, can you help your daughter Izzy? She's having trouble painting, they were like painting a turkey or coloring a turkey, and she's like, can you help her? And I was like, whatever. And she's like, can you do the feathers? Izzy couldn't do the feathers. So I colored the feathers, and she goes, now can we see it? And I was like, I didn't agree to be judged. And she's like, Mr. Ift, we'd like to see Izzy's turkey. And so I show, and I know how good it is, but I just don't want to shame those kids. So I show my turkey, and this is what the teacher said. She goes, wrong. And I have PTSD from when I was a kid. So I was like, what do you mean wrong? She goes, it's wrong, Mr. Ift, it's wrong. You didn't paint it correctly. I'm like, oh, well, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm looking at all those other kids on the screen, on the Zoom, and mine's a lot better than all of theirs. And I'm like, mine's the best. And she goes, Mr. Ift, you don't follow directions. Obviously, you don't listen. And I'm like, excuse me? She goes, yes, Mr. Ift, I told you to paint all of the feathers different colors. And I don't know how, but it came out of me. I said, it's not a fucking peacock. That word came out of my mouth. I saw the word. I tried to grab it and pull it back in. Like one of those old Batman TV shows. I was like, I was like, I can't believe I just said that. And all the kids, there were 18 kids on the screen, every one of them knew that word. Because they all went. And in full panic, I didn't know what to do, so I just moved off the screen. I moved off the screen. And the teacher goes, Mr. Ift, get back here. And my daughter goes, Dad, Dad. And I go, I'm not here. I'm not here. And she goes, Dad, he's right there. My dad's right there. And I go, I'm not your dad. I'm not your dad. Your mom cheated on me with some other guy. And I hear the teacher go, Mr. Ift, if you don't get back here right now. And I just ran around and clamshelled the laptop. I just slammed that thing shut. And then I text the school and I said, sorry, Wi-Fi went down. And then I text and I said, by the way, I don't know if my wife told you, but my identical twin brother is staying with us right now, and he has Tourette's syndrome. I almost went to jail once for my daughter. My daughter, we were in Hawaii, and she didn't like her car seat. Car seats should be birth control. If you don't want, if you don't want someone to have children, just have them put a baby in a car seat, because it's terrible. My daughter would fight me to not get in a car seat, to the point where I'd be like, just go sit on the hood. I don't care at this point. Like, really, I'm trying to save your life here. Have you ever seen the way I drive? Get back in there. But she would fight me, literally. Like, I'd be trying to lock her in, she'd be fighting, I would have to get her in a chokehold. And I'd be like, finally, you're gonna tap. Or you're going to sleep. And we're in a grocery store parking lot in Hawaii, and I'm wrestling this 3-year-old. I'm like, take it. And I'm strapping her, and she somehow like jujitsu'd out of it. And I've got the seat, the armrest down, and there's a hole that goes into the trunk. She shot through it like she was Viet Cong. Like, I think she like dislocated her jaw to get through. And she goes into the trunk, and I'm like, hey, get back out here. I'm like, hey, come on, Izzy, get out here. And she's giggling. And then I'm like, Izzy, come on, you can't be back there. Daddy's got to drive, and if he drives with you, if I get pulled over, Daddy's going to jail. And I'm like, you know, Daddy's just an average-looking guy, but in jail he's pretty. And Daddy's going to come back a different daddy, so you better get out of there. And then I'm like, why am I rationalizing it? So I'm like, I'm just going to go around back and open the trunk. And I'm like, this will be fun because I'll scare her. And I don't know if you've ever scared a 3-year-old. It's so fun. You know, boo! You know, I do other stuff. I'm like, but I go around and I'm all excited. I'm like, this is gonna be fun. And I open the trunk and I'm like, and I didn't scare her. But I did scare the woman in the parking lot who was walking behind me, that saw me open the trunk, and there's a 3-year-old sitting Indian style in the trunk of my car. And I didn't even know she was behind me until I heard the gasp. She was like, and I turned around and I go, she's in timeout. You want to go there too? I thought the woman would laugh, but she picked up her phone and hit 3 numbers. And so then I, in full panic, knew what was going to happen next. So I just slammed the trunk on Izzy, and I drove away before Child Protective Service showed up.